I think that emptiness exists with a lot of us. I mean, I think most of us have that emptiness inside us. So the exploits and the drugs and the sex and the women and so was a way of filling the emptiness.
But prior to all the sexual exploits and that, did that emptiness, when did that actually start in your life?
Very good question. That in essence, I think it, as I said right at the beginning, probably when I moved down here, and it's got nothing to do with Cape Town per se, but it was just the timing of coming down here. So what in hindsight now, what happened is that before that, I was having a lot of fun what I was doing business-wise. So I was enjoying my life. I was in a great space. So what happened is there was an internal shift that happened in me that created this kind of disconnect in a way. So my soul and my personality was on one track, doing something, let's say 10 years ago, which I enjoyed, and then those two paths split. And my personality was still doing this thing, and my soul said, now it's time for something else. Now it's time to awaken to something else in your life. And that's what created that disconnect. That's what created that emptiness. And I think that is happening to a lot of people. So there wasn't an emptiness before. I was really in a really great space. And that's why it was so difficult, because I never had any of that in my life. I was very much content and very much in my space. But then this thing started happening, and it was like, wow, what the fuck is this? And then you try to find routes to drown it out and to solve it. And I think that's what's happening. I think that's really what's happening around the world. I think we're lifting into another consciousness, into a higher love consciousness. It's happening to a lot of people all around. I can see it in a lot of my friends. I can see people shifting. People are shifting. Things are changing. Evolutionary paths. I don't want to get too much into that now, but we are moving into another consciousness. And for some of us, it happened earlier, some later, some is happening now. Some people it happened 10, 20 years ago. For me, it started happening 5 years, 10 years ago. I just didn't know kind of how to solve it. And the problem with that is there's no one that can really help you, or there weren't any to help you. I even went to see a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and wow, am I going crazy? And luckily, she didn't put me on any stuff. I was like very, the book says that, I was like very negative about going on any I was taking a lot of illegal drugs, but I was very certain didn't want to have any of the legal drugs. So I was very scared not to be on antidepressants and stuff and so forth. And also be careful what I say. So there is a role for it sometimes. But I think that's often what happens. We're getting dragged. People feel this emptiness, or they feel this dissonance, this shift happening on them. Then they go to people that put them on drugs. It happens to us. It happens to our kids. People are putting. The teachers can't handle the kids. They're putting on Ritalin. Adults go to a psychologist, psychiatrist, and there's this shift, this inner journey that they need to do, and then they put them on antidepressants. It blunt them to the sadness inside them, but it also blunt them to the happiness. You're not that sad anymore, but you're also not that happy anymore. And I think that's the big thing. That was for me a big learning in the space. Looking back, when I was in that position, obviously I didn't know that. I just thought I was going mad. It was happening. Now it's clear for me that's happening around me to a lot of people.